technocrats, whether they take it or not. That was it on that. All right, so let's jump back to where we were at. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, when you mentioned that, it just made me think about how easy it is. At this point, we know through the spirit power behind Basham Yahweh that it's only a matter of time, really. It's just the Lord setting things up, right? Once the setup is done, you're gonna see that the dominoes fall real quick. All right. Now, what do I mean by that? You gotta understand that, and we mentioned earlier about how these technocrats and all of them, they have pretty much power over the earth. How do they do that? All right, it's through wicked tactics and manipulation, right? You got wars, you got different things that they do, weather manipulation and all kinds of different shit. But in reality, when you look at the way the market works right now, it's all about stakeholders, right? I think it's called stakeholder capitalism, if I'm not mistaken, right? Which is something that the World Economic Forum they're always heavy talking about, right? Now, I was looking into some information, I think a couple of days ago, and I found out that State Street, Vanguard, and BlackRock pretty much owns, shit, I want to say almost 50%. It's like some crazy number. I think 30 or 40% of the world's wealth. Okay, and how do they do that? It's through so-called shares, right? Holding shares and so on and so forth. So the more shares they may have in a corporation or whatever, the more power they have over that corporation. So now you got Vanguard, not Vanguard, what's the other one? Larry Fink shit. What's it called?
What was it? BlackRock?
BlackRock, there you go. You got BlackRock telling companies and corporations that, hey, if you want to continue with your business, you're going to have to push certain narratives. You're going to have to push certain behaviors, if you will.
Yep.
Right? And they say, for example, the LGBT no IQ situation, the whole DEI bullshit, right? So they say, look, if you want to continue to stay in business, because we have the most shares in the stock right here. So whatever we say is what's going to happen. So they say, oh, you know what, now it's time to switch gears. At first it was 2020, they were pushing for the Vanessa. That's why every company damn near was pushing the same thing, because BlackRock, Vanguard, they have the majority of the shares in a lot of these companies that people are working with, right? So if you go to the bank has, BlackRock got shares from the banks, all right? So they own pretty much a lot of these banks, right? You go to your jobs, whether it be a state job or a government job, these people have power over them as well, okay, through shares and so on and so forth. All right, you want to go buy a car, whatever you want to do. You want to own a house, especially now. They say they're buying all these real estate houses, and that's why the housing market got so bad over the past couple of years. Is because you might have a house that is being listed for maybe $300,000. These motherfuckers come in and outbid the shit out of you. They'll probably put it up for we buy it for 600. You ain't gonna compete with no corporation that's trying to buy a house for 600,000 when you only got 300. So they buy it and then they hold it. So now it's like, okay, we bought the house. It was worth 300,000. Now we got it for 600,000. We're gonna sell it for 800,000. So the only people that can be able to buy this is rich people or corporations or businesses, not the regular average American. You see, so now they have a power grip over these places that people may need for survival. So now at this point, once the system collapses and they have all the hold on the entire system, they'll dictate how to move, what to do, right? So now it goes from, if you don't take the jab or the jump shot or you don't drink that juice, you can't work, you can't do this. And you wonder, like, why is the government going along with this shit? It's because the government is owned by these stakeholders, man. Okay? So now BlackRock can say, hey, if you don't push the RFID, you know what? As our new payment system, as our new identity system, then you can't stay in business. And they have the power to take you out of business because they hold most of the shares. And if you don't like it, you just get fired, or you can go find someplace else to work. Or you'll do what they just did to the United Health CEO guy. You were part of it. You know what I'm saying? And hey, the owner of Cash App, I think similar, or if not the same thing, happened to him as well, because he wasn't trying to, be down with the system, so they took his ass out. Okay, there's always some mysterious shit. You know what I mean? But it goes to show you the kind of power that they have. So when the time comes and the Lord says, okay, it's go time, all right, that hour of temptation is going to be one son of a bitch, man. All right, it's going to be tough as hell, because every corner you turn, whether it's healthcare, whether it's food, whether it's housing, whether it's education, whether it's just work alone, whatever it is, clothing, whatever it is, man, it's going to be, this is the entry. You gotta have this in order to do that. And this is what we've been warning about for all these years, and now we're seeing it all formulated coming together, man. You know, of course, with the whole concept of World War III in our forefront, right? We know that the MOTBs are right around the corner. Okay, when you have Trump and them coming out nowadays, it looks like everyone is talking about this whole Bitcoin thing and the whole digital transaction shit, right? We now learning about it, right? But for years they've had this thing, planned out, ready to go. As we speak right now, you got countries that are trading out their actual real life assets for digital assets, man. It's happening right now. Okay, through the IMF and all these different giant corporations that have a stronghold over these nations, man, and over the leaders of these nations. Okay, so when the time comes, it's not going to take long, or it's going to take much for them to push the people into that direction, especially when the economy collapses. At that point, you have them at your will. And that's what we're seeing right now as we speak. A lot of different collapses are going to be happening very, very soon, simultaneously, because the past 4 years was a setup for that. Okay, the past 4 years was a setup for the next 4 years, so-called, for Agenda 2030 to be fulfilled, which is you own nothing and you be happy. Okay, so we see the playbook up from a mile away, and that's what we've been giving the warning. All right, but that time of the warning is almost over, man. You can just feel it. All right, this is the calm before the storm, so to speak. Okay, and that's why you have precepts like First Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. All right, that's gonna happen suddenly, and they shall not escape. Where are you gonna escape to? You're not going nowhere. Nobody's going anywhere, man. You're gonna have to face it, and the Lord's gonna have to fight on your behalf. That's why we're talking about the prophets being delivered. The Lord said He's gonna feed us when the time comes. All these things are real life shit that people are gonna have to deal with. Okay, when your government is nowhere to be found, and as a matter of fact, they're the ones who coming after your ass, right? They're talking about an earthquake that just happened in Cali. We know it's an inside job, but the rest of the world, when they have patents saying that the government's trying to control the weather by 2025, well, we're just a few days away from 2025, a few weeks away from 2025. All right, so we're gonna see what it comes with, man. You got it, bro.
That's right. That's right. Hey, you mentioned something. Oh yeah, I think there's something called Project 2025. Maybe your brother could look that up. Just type it in online. Let's see what we get for Project 2025. I forget the exact details of it, but I remember reading about it earlier this year. Somebody had mentioned it to me. But yeah, it's looking to be real interesting. How things are going to play out. At the end of the day, we can't tell you in detail, but we got to watch and see how it ends up playing out, because what the Lord has given us is like a check box, right? A list of check boxes that when we see them happen, we check them off. And you can sort of anticipate certain other things, but you still got to watch as well, right? That's part of the mystery of prophecy. All right. But in any case, where we at? We're in Romans, right?
Romans.
So run that back from the top on 11. Check out anything too, yeah.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13 and 11. And it reads, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Right. So now is the most crucial time out of ever, right? To awake out of sleep. To not be in this docile mindset, this distracted mindset that this world tries to put you in, right? This hypnosis. Go ahead.
For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
Yeah, now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. So, we think it's close, but at the end of the day, the Most High is the one who's in control of when it's actually going to be. But these things happening. So, with the surprise of prophecy, the Lord could actually have something major be about to happen in like 3 days, and you wouldn't know. You would just be there, and then the day comes, and you don't even know that you're just 3 days away from a major cyber attack or something like that. That the Lord has set up. You think, damn, it could happen in the next 6 months. It could happen in the next 3 months. It could happen in the next 8 months. And Lord is like, is it going to be 3 days? So as we're reading over here, what do we actually just read on that? Oh, salvation is nearer than when we believe. Meaning, you may think it's close based on the course of events. The Lord may say it's actually closer than you think. And then boom, you wake up one day and your phone ain't working. What the hell is going on? No TV, no phone, no radio. You may wake up to hearing your neighbors spazzing out. What happened to the Wi-Fi? All this stuff. And then eventually, because typically when that happens, right, you start to think a couple of things, right? Oh, did I pay my phone bill? Okay, did I pay the internet? Okay, is there something wrong with my phone? Because it's my phone that's not working. Let me turn it off, turn it back on. Then you find out, oh, whoever else you live with, their phone ain't working. Okay, let me go check the router. You know, is there something wrong with the router or the modem? No, it ain't that. Okay, so then now there's a bigger issue, right? So you start to understand, okay, there's something bigger going on here, and it's not from my specific hardware, right? It got to be something else.
Say 9/11. When you woke up that morning, the TV was messed up. The channel, remember, the antenna went down, and there goes the local channels. Or we didn't need cable
Right.
to watch local channels, but during 9/11, when you woke up, saw the towers down, and that was like a swift judgment that didn't take like a whole series of events to unfold before it happened. It was just like boom, Tower One hit, then boom, Tower Two hit,
Right.
then boom, Pentagon hit. You know, all these things just unraveled in a matter of minutes. You know, and it affected New York as up until today, as we see. The antennas being down, you still don't get local channels for your TV. If you just go to channel 7, it's gonna unless you have a fire stick or a tweak antenna, you don't get those regular channels. In fact, in New York from now, from the time it happened all the way up until now, not despite the losses of lives, because you know that doesn't even compare to the loss of Jake being lost in the world. But you know, the towers being brought down is a swift judgment, and it ain't nowhere near compared to what is to come as far as the Lord bringing His judgment on this place of Babylon and the whole.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, you also had I got you. You also had the CrowdStrike situation, right? And the thing about that is, by the time people actually found out what was happening, because everybody was still first off, by the time people even knew something was wrong, there was a lot of damage that was already done. There was a lot of money that was already lost. You know, from banks to airports, planes, flights. You know, hospitals. A lot of damage is already done because this thing happens instantly. You know, remember when people you may wake up at 8 a.m. to go to work. There's people working overnight. The second they turn on that computer and it's not on, they're like, yo, what's going on? You know, like I need this to actually work. And there's some systems that are supposed to stay online continuously to provide your system some services. All of a sudden they start malfunctioning, they're not working anymore. Now a lot of corporations are like, yo, what's up? Because we got a lot of like I thought, we got a lot of customers here we got to service. You know, and that's when eventually you find out like, yo, my computer's on this blue screen, or yo, what's going on here? You got it.
Matthew 24:42. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. But
That's
know
right.
this,
That's right. You don't know what hour the Lord is gonna come. Hey, Howard Shai doesn't know what hour he's gonna come. That's up to the Most High. But we know that. Look, it's really like a jackpot, right? We know that if we continue what we're doing, right? Think of it like this, right? Imagine you invested money into some asset, and so long as your money is invested in there, at some point it's gonna blow up. That's guaranteed. At some point, this asset is gonna skyrocket and blow up. You're gonna be the richest you've ever been, richer than anybody has ever been. But the question is, you don't know exactly when it's gonna happen. And sometimes you get so tempted to say, let me just liquidate and remove the money because shit, I gotta pay for this or I gotta pay for that. But that's a part of the temptation. So if you think of like the hour of temptation, for example, like that, your faith to continue doing this work, that your time, your faith, your spirit that you've invested in this work is like your money in that asset. And it's locked. It's like the long maturity, bonds, whatever they call them things, it's locked up in there. And you gotta keep on pumping more faith to tell you keep it in there, keep it in there, keep it in there. Because that hour, when your Howard Shai comes back, that's the jackpot. That's the day you wake up and check your shit and it's like, 3,000%. you know, and you like, how the hell did I put $5 in here and now I got $5 million? So that's why we gotta keep it, and it's that hope for that. Every time you trying to withdraw your money, you think, yo, $5 for 5 million? No, just keep it, keep it.
that's why we got to watch.
Yep.
It keeps us locked in to current events. By keeping locked in with that, we're still attached to what's going on in the prophecy. And that keeps, like the brother mentioned, that hope alive.
That's right. That's right.
Nurturing the hope.
That's it. Hey, the Apostle Paul said, "What a man seeth, why does he have hope?" You know, you don't hope for something. I hope, you know what I'm saying, that we can be out here. Well, we're already out here.
Right.
You know what I mean? You hope. The reason you're hoping is because you're uncertain. You're not sure. It's not there. You can't see it. So your hope is like your sight for you. You know what I mean? You got it.
Prisoners of hope.
Prisoners of hope. That's it.
But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up.
Yeah, because if you knew that a thief is going to rob your house at 11 p.m., you would have made sure you done everything before 11 and, at 10 o'clock. You ready? Sitting there, you got the hat on, the radio playing, and the shotgun right there, waiting, like the Meadamites do, in the rocking chair and shit. And you know they be. It's crazy how you in the rocking chair making no noise. The lights are off, and the second the thief walks in there, you turn the light. He's just in the corner looking at you with his joint. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you go ahead and put that right back down and turn around? You know what I mean? That's how they. But like the scriptures say, if the good man knew that the hour in which the thief was coming, he would have made sure that the second this thing came, there's a bat right to the back of his head. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That Blackout 6 Omni movie, you know what I'm saying, land on this nigga's dome. He would have made sure that he got that thief good. Broken a couple of boats too. But he didn't, So you don't know. So that's the challenge here, right? You don't know when this thief is coming, so you always gotta sleep with one eye open. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta keep on checking. You gotta stay locked in. So that's like us. When we do things, because you still have responsibilities, right? If you take that example literally, you still gotta cook, you still gotta shower, you gotta do what you gotta do, but you gotta constantly be monitoring, constantly be monitoring. So what do you do in that case? Okay, well, what if I'm not home? You gotta think of those situations. How can I still stay alert with what's happening even if I'm not home? I may not be home when this guy breaks in, so I gotta make sure I got measures in place that can at least catch that, set a trap or something. So the second sign happens, I can make it over there. So what do we do? Well, we know, okay, we got to measure the times diligently, but you may be at work. You're not in the Middle East, so you can't see directly what's going on. Well, that's why you got these articles. That's why you got these different, news sites. You got these different social media platforms that notify you. So you set those in place. So even though you may not be there, you may get a notification, and then you're aware of what's going on. So you can't say, well, right now the means that I need to do this doesn't exist, so I'm just gonna sit there. Oh Lord, you told me to do this. Well, I have a problem and I'm just here. No, you gotta solve the problem. That's how the Lord knows. Well, how bad, do you want it? How willing are you to do what I ask? Because if it was for you, you would have found a way to do it. Dudes will walk 10 miles in a blizzard to go, break some back and beds. But when it comes to doing the work of the Lord, they ain't gonna do that. You couldn't find a way to go serve the Lord, but you found I don't know, you walked on the train tracks. You know what I'm saying? To get there. Follow you walked under the train. You knew, okay, if I take the 4 train over here, the train ain't working, fuck it, I'm walking. I'm gonna tear her back out today. So you made it over there. But when it comes to doing the work, the train ain't working, so I'm going home.
Hey,
yeah.
You know why they do that? You know why certain men would do something like that? It's because they don't have inner vision. Okay? And I was actually mentioning that the other day about a gift that the Lord gave men, especially the men of the Lord, is we have inner vision. All right? For example, I believe the parable that the Lord gave in regards to the kingdom being like gold that's in a field, and a man found it, and then he sold everything that he has so he could purchase that field. Right? It's the same thing with us, right? So we look at the kingdom and everything we have, though the world doesn't see it, we see it. We talk about it all the time like we've been there before. It's just like we just don't remember how it looked like type of thing. Like, in the kingdom, we're going to be able to do this. In the kingdom, this. I can't wait for the kingdom. It's like, all right, but you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's going to be like. Why is that? What's this fuss about? You can't wait for it.
Right.
And that's the same spirit that the prophets of old were in. The disciples were in the same spirit, asking the Lord, Lord, would you now instate the kingdom of Israel? But the reason why is because we all have inner vision. All right, we can look at something when there's nothing, and we could see it for what it could be or what it's about to be. You see, you could give me a piece of land, right? The moment I see that piece of land, or you could say, yo, I'm gonna give you an already built house, right, with everything in it. You want the piece of land? I'm gonna give you a piece of land. I'm gonna give you the resources to put it up how you want, or you could take this one right here. If you ask a woman that, she's gonna take the house that's already built and completed because she doesn't have inner vision to say, oh, you know what? I could make something out of this. You know, she already seen it. If she sees a piece of land that's just sitting there, she's like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? A piece of land? But a man is gonna look at it and be like, you know what? Shit, this is a nice piece of land right here. I might not like where it is, so maybe I could just hold on to it for a few years, let it build up its wealth, and I'm gonna sell it and then go buy or purchase another land that I may like. That's one way you can look at it. That's inner vision. You're seeing something in the future that's not there right now, right? Or you could say, damn, you know what? Shit, thank you. I'll take the land. You know, and then you start imagining, I could put a house on this. You know, maybe I could build a 3-story mansion on this house, on this land right here. I'm gonna put it up over here. I'm gonna have the pool over there. I'm gonna put these many rooms on this floor. I'm gonna put these many rooms on that floor, right? So you already have the vision in your mind of how you're going to make that nothing come into something. You see? So it's the same thing with this ministry is everyone sees it as a nothing, but we see it as everything because we know exactly what it is without even having to see it. We already know in our mind's mind, in our inner vision, we see what this is about to become. This is the greatest investment that any man has ever done before, ever. Right? You invest in the truth? Yeah. Really, the truth, man? You ain't gonna get nothing from that. I was like, nobody knows about that shit. That don't mean nothing. And then I seen the other apostle, Aramla, do a video yesterday. He said, I think next year, or this year or next year is going to be 55 years since the truth came out. All right, starting from Elder Abba Bivens, all right, which we believe to be the prophet Elijah coming back, John the Baptist coming back. Okay, so it's been 55 years now. When it first started, nobody really knew about it. It started from a small sanctuary in a school. Now it's all over the world. It's all around the world, man. To the point where these devils are shaking in their boots. All right, it's like the talk of the town.
Yep.
It's not like it used to when we first came into the truth. Remember this just a few years ago, right? To show you how fast things have picked up over the past 10 years or so. When you first came into the truth and you said, "Oh, you're an Israelite,"
Yep.
people were like, "Oh, Israelite."
Yep.
Oh, now it's like, "Oh, yeah, shalom, hey, shalom." We be teaching. We got people driving by, "Hey, shalom, hey, shalom." I'm like, "Oh shit," you know. So this truth is definitely going out, and that's why I'm saying that inner vision, brothers. Anyone who invested in this truth, in terms of you putting your body as a living sacrifice, you serving the Lord with everything you have, hey, it's the greatest investment you could ever make. All right, this is the greatest investment. It's guaranteed. It's not going to be like, oh shit, I may lose. You know what I'm saying? Like you put a few dollars in it, and then it's like, oh shit, it went down, so I lost a little bit. You know, nah. This is like it keeps on growing. All right, it's the greatest investment you could ever make. It keeps on growing.
Yep.
And that land that you purchased, we all purchased that land, which is the truth. Guess what? Now look at the kind of increase that we getting. You know, and as we get closer and closer to the return of our Lord, we're seeing that this land went from something that everybody was passing by. It's like nobody even noticed it. To now, it's become the thing where everyone is trying to come around it. You see, you got other people who are trying to be like, oh, I'll buy this land off you. You're like, this ain't for sale no more. I'm sorry, buddy. You know, that's the times that we're in. So very soon, people are gonna come around and be like, yo, I want to buy that. I want to buy a piece of that land. You say, no, you got to go to the buyers. You got to go to the sellers and buy. You see, that whole thing, it all comes full circle, man. It all comes full circle. You know, but the point is what? Inner vision. Okay, inner vision. All right, and I got a quick precept here, and I'm gonna pass it. All right, the book of Hebrews, again, going into faith, right? Going into faith, get this real quick. All right, it's the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, and verse 14, it says, "For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come." Right, so the same spirit that the disciples and the apostles were in during their time, all right, during the time of Yahushua, during the time after Yahushua, during the time before Yahushua, okay, all the way till now, all right, we're in the same spirit of we seek one to come, okay, and that one that's coming is everlasting. That's that great city, all right, the great city that we want. That's the nation, the kingdom of Israel, okay. So when that time comes, man, forget about it, bro. You're not gonna be saying it's a type of kingdom that you get a new body. What kind of kingdom you know on this earth that you get a new body to be in, man? Like you gotta have a new body to be in this kingdom. Damn, you know, you gotta be renewed all the way. The whole entire earth gotta be renewed for this kingdom to actually flourish, to work. Like that's crazy, man. And I get pumped when I think about stuff like, because it was that concept that brought me into the truth. The kingdom. Remember, it was like a freaking, I don't know what it was, man. It was I want the kingdom. I want to go to the kingdom. Every day was the kingdom. Kicking chairs and throwing things around. cursing everybody out because the kingdom, and then we finally found out the truth and what it is. I was like, oh, yeah, hey, we're in the right spot. We are where we're supposed to be, man. The greatest investment ever made, which is what? In this truth. All right? You got it, bro.
Yep, that's it. Hey, like brother said, in the vision, when things don't go right in your life, just remember that at the end of the day, you still have something that even the most successful person in this world doesn't have. And all you got to do is just wait. Like this thing you have, you're gaining it just based on the way you're living your life. That's it. You don't have to do anything extra. And that's why it's so important to build a habit out of serving the Lord, because when you incorporate serving the Lord into your daily routine, it just makes life much more easier, because now you're like, okay, I just have to live my life until Yahweh Shai comes back, and then I just get this reward. It's like doing nothing. If you bake serving the Lord into the routine of your life, it's almost like you don't have to do anything, and then the Lord is just going to reward you just for living. So it's really all about how you think about it. So you may try to do something in the world, and it may not work. You may work a shitty job in the world. You may be a janitor. You know what I'm saying? You may be in a low position that people don't respect. But at the end of the day, don't worry about that, because it's just a matter of time before you and matter of fact, the lower you are, the better it is when the Lord takes you all the way up. The higher you're going to rise. So you don't have to worry about those things, because that's why the Lord said, roughly paraphrasing, you that are weary, rest with us, because you can rest your mind. Damn, man, I had a shitty day at work. I got this freaking heathen or this obnoxious, demon of a woman over me at work, and she's talking to me anyhow, and they don't respect you, and you know what I'm saying? Instead of putting the garbage in the garbage can, they just put it on the floor because they know you're gonna clean it up. Guess what? At the end of the day, all you got to do is just keep on living, and you're gonna be in a position that's high. Remember, we're talking about the highest status in existence. We're not talking about amongst the one country or amongst the world. We're talking about in existence, meaning you have the Most High, and it doesn't get higher than the Most High. You have Yahweh Shai, then you have the elect, the governing body, right? So if you're one of those members, you're literally one of the most important spirits in all of existence. And in the future, those concepts of like multiverses and stuff, yeah, they're gonna be reality, because we're gonna keep on populating and filling up all of these different planets and galaxies and X, Y, and Z. And as time goes on, your level of fame and importance is only gonna magnify more and more. And all you have to do is just live your life. So just remember that, like the brother was saying, but you're only going to see that through inner vision. Got it, bro.
1 Timothy 4:14. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. Hey, neglect not the gift. As the brother was so beautifully breaking down, neglect not the gift. We've been given a gift, the highest blessing, better than all the riches in the world. The scriptures goes into that constantly. I believe in Job, it might be the 28th chapter. They talk about how men go through all these lengths to find gems and different precious metals from the earth, but where is the place of wisdom?
Right.
You can't go and mine for wisdom.
Right, exactly. Yep.
You can't go to a place and say, yo, this is the wisdom mine.
Yep.
Let me go get my pickaxe. I'm going to go gather me some wisdom.
Yep.
I'm going to sell it. It has to be given from on high. It's a heavenly gift.
Mhm.
You can't buy it. You can ask for it, but the Lord don't have to give it. It's a gift that's just based off of mercy.
Right.
This is the highest gift. This is the most important thing. You can lose it all. You don't have two nickels to rub together. But if you got this truth, you're better than everybody, man. You're better off than everybody.
Right.
See?
Right. I got something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you had your answer, but
Oh yeah. I just wanted to add a little bit more to the brother Carr's point.
yeah, add some color to that.
So it's like one of my favorite quotes: "The man is not affected by events, but how they view them." So like if things are not going your way, all you gotta do is like change your perspective on things. So like, okay, the kingdom's not here yet. Okay, so just be patient, and as the brother was saying, form your life into a way where you're serving the Lord constantly, where you don't even have to think twice about doing that. And once you do, then it's like you're storing into your spiritual bank account without knowing you are, basically, so that when the time comes, you'll be like, oh, it's time to get out. We out of here.
Yeah. Like that saying, to be rich, you got to live broke. That's how some of these go and look at these so-called rich people. You're not gonna see them wearing no Louis Vuittons and them fresh, the newest J's, and you know what I'm saying, pants on their knees and shit. You know, gold grills and hair. You're not gonna see them doing that. You barely notice them when they walk past you on the street. You're wearing a regular T-shirt. You know what I'm saying, some regular jeans and some freaking Skechers and shit. You know what I'm saying, and this guy's a whole multi-billionaire CEO of some top company because they're like, yo, I don't need to like, flaunt and waste this money if I don't have to. That's the problem with Jake. You get money and you only drive one car at a time. Why do you have 20 cars in the garage, bro? You're only gonna sleep on one bed, but you got a 50-bedroom freaking mansion? Bro, think about it. If I buy a 50-bedroom mansion and there's only me and my wife in that damn house, I gotta hire maids, I gotta hire servants, I gotta hire cleaners. If they're gonna mow the lawn, I gotta pay for that. So why am I paying for all this unused space? Jake don't think. They just wanna, yeah, they party, diddy party, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I got to I cry for the rap, turn that shit down daily, So that's Jake's mindset. And it's like, bro, you just gotta think. So like the brother I'm now saying beautifully, like the brother brought out, with the wisdom of the Heavenly Father, you can't mind that anywhere. They may tell you, oh, you want to know about cars? Go to the school about mechanics. But that's why the scriptures say that the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. Because anybody can gain the wisdom of this world, but the wisdom of the Most High, not anybody can gain that. It's funny how you may have certain brothers that may not be, as high on the literate level, right? Maybe their literature may not be on point. You know what I'm saying? Their cognitive function may not be the top out there. But what they know and what they understand is far better than one of these top prestigious scholars. Somebody who's a great orator, they come and they give speeches and the crowd goes wild. And this brother can barely read like 2 sentences, but he knows the Heavenly Father. He knows the name of the Lord. He knows he's an Israelite. He knows the prophecies. Guess what? If all hell breaks loose right now, I'm following him. Because it may take him a minute to tell me, okay, let's go over here. Maybe the brother might have a speech problem. Maybe the brother might be deaf. But if I follow this brother and I can understand what he's saying, he's going to tell me, don't go there, let's go over here. And if I go here, I'm going to live. Versus this brilliant orator who doesn't know what to do because he doesn't have that wisdom of the Most High. So it's not about that's why the Lord said, don't judge according to the outward appearance. It's not about, oh, this guy's rich and this guy looks still, he's cute. Or no. When all hell breaks loose, it's going to be about Isaiah 33:6. That's what's going to matter. You best believe that's what's going to matter because guess what? I'm going to follow this guy that's so famous in the world, but then we all starving together. Or I'm going to follow this brother that nobody respected, but guess what? He knows where to go. He knows what's coming. He's like, nope, keep your head down. Nope, don't go over there. Nope, be quiet. And you find out why he said that.
Something as simple as, you got a point?
No, go ahead.
No, something as simple as differentiating between the true and living God and an idol.
Right.
The masses can't do that. Most people can't tell you. They think Buddha's a real God.
Right.
Or Hare Krishna or some other nonsense, But a brother can tell you this is the true and living God. This is his name. That alone puts you miles and leagues above everybody else, man. And it's something so simple. All of the parables the Lord is saying simple. Watch out for the thief.
Right.
See, everybody knows the thief coming. You got to look out for that.
Right.
It's something that's basic, that's easy to comprehend, but that's why the world overlooks this because they're looking for something like a algebraic, breakdown with the calculus and the, quantumness. But here it is. It's so simple and straightforward to you.
Yeah, that shows that the Lord knew what he was saying when he said thou art rich.
Right.
Because we like a hidden treasure that we didn't tap into. The hidden gem. Remember that movie? With brother Adam Sandler with this, but he was talking about Israel when it came down to that hidden stone, that rare gem that was priceless that they was trying to sell to Kevin Garnett. But like he said, we are rich, and this precept right here proves that the treasure that we possess is not of this worldly manner, all right, but it's the spiritual manner of knowing His word and knowing the Lord and knowing that we are His people.
You got it, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the precept here for this is in Matthew chapter 6, verse 19, starting from verse 19, it reads, lay not up yourself treasures upon earth, where moth and rust do corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. Right, so don't waste your time on building up material wealth here on this planet Earth, because this is going to wither away. Like moths eat through clothes and rust eat through solid materials like precious metals and all of that. Uh, the Lord is speaking of the main focus is to lay up. Reading on, it says in verse 20, but lay up your treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust do corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. Right. So when you invest in your spiritual being or your spiritual aspect, which is your treasure, all right, and you setting up your mansion, heaven, right? The bigger your mansion gonna be from the work that you put in through the Lord's work that you put in here, all right, on the planet Earth. Instead of investing in homes and mansions here, you investing in your mansions in heaven. That's what the spiritual gift that the Lord gave you, which is the gem.
You're right. Hey, and that's a beautiful point you made right there, man. Because at the end of the day, what we're talking about here, everybody's gonna be in the kingdom of heaven, right? Like we're literally telling you, like the Lord is put us in a position to say, look, like it's like when you work at a company that's a startup that hasn't that they call the IPO, right? They haven't like gone public yet, but they allow you to like invest in like stocks and stuff like that. Eventually, when they go public, you had exclusive access to be able to purchase these stocks or these shares for super low. So when they go public and everybody else got to get it for that high price, you already ahead of the game. And that's what the Lord got us. We're already ahead of the game. Because in the kingdom of heaven, where everybody is going to next, we're already there. You know what I mean? Like the Lord has given us exclusive access to start preparing for that before everybody even gets there. So in the kingdom, you're not going to have the opportunity to say, okay, we're here now. Now I want to work my way up to the level of the elect. No, the level of the elect was preset before the kingdom even came here. And the Lord blessed us with that like insights to that. So what we're doing here right now is literally building and setting up our life for the when the kingdom comes. You know how you have one what do they call those administration, and then 4 years later another one comes in. You still work the same job. When election day comes, you're still working the same job. When inauguration day comes, you're still working the same job, right? But it's just a different rulership, a different administration and power, and then they might start to change the way your life is affected. Well, that's how it's going to be when the kingdom comes. You're still going to be on the earth, if you're alive, and the earth is still going to be here, but it's going to be under new management. And when that new management comes in, the roles are already going to be set, and you're going to wonder, how did you actually get up to this point? And guess what? It's going to be a beautiful sight to see. People that didn't give you the time of the day today will not even get access to even come close to your presence. I mentioned this like some years ago in a lesson I was doing, which is that we're so used to now, like I don't even want to say being disrespected, but lacking, some form of what is it? Yeah, recognition to the point where anybody can access you. But in the kingdom, that's not going to be the case. People are going to need to have like high permissions to be able to get an audience with you. And those that are going to be able to have an audience with you, they're going to be very, very exclusive. You don't get to go today and all of a sudden, I'm saying, like, I'm trying to meet freaking the Saudi prince. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm trying to meet Jeff Bezos. So let me give him a call and let me meet you. Who are you? How do you ask an average? How do you get a meeting with Jeff Bezos? You don't. You know what I'm saying? Even those that are closer up to him have to go to his assistants and this and that because he doesn't have time. But we're going to be able to have an audience with Yahushua, like freely, obviously in order, but with freely. And there's people who ain't never going to even get to be able to step in the same presence as Yahushua. You got it, bro.
Hey, you mentioned that just reminded me of remember that dream that I had a few years ago in regards to my ex-woman. And I remember when we had split, I used to sit back, just in this ministry, really, that's the only thing I really thought about. But every now and again, you think about it like, yo, is this ever going to come back? Is she ever going to come back? That type of shit. And typically we're not the type to go around, bothering people and shit. We just ask the Lord and then we get our answers. So I asked the Lord, Lord, show me something. Let me know if she's done forever or if she ever gonna come back. What's the case? Well, let me know. And I had a dream, I think the very night or the next day or something. In a dream, we were in a mansion, right? And it had a very long driveway. To get to that house, it was long as hell. And it was like on the top of a hill, and in that dream, Yahushua was in that house, and there was like mad angels in that house, like on guard. And I see this car coming up top speed, like, driving up the damn hill, like, coming mad fast. And then she gets out the car, and she's screaming, like, crying, like, yo, where is he? She's calling my name, like, where is he? Where is he? So she finally finds where I'm at. I'm like, yo, who's making all that noise? So I step out, and I see her right there. And she comes and she kneels in front of me, bows down, and she grabs my foot. And she starts begging me, like, please take me back. Please take me back. And I was looking at her, and I was kind of like pushing back. And I stood there, I looked at her, and I said, yo, stand up. And she couldn't get up. And I told her, I said, it's not up to me. I'm not the one who makes the decisions anymore. You see that man right there? He makes the decision on who gets to come around us. You see? And she was like, no, but I knew you. I didn't know him. I said, that was the problem. You didn't know him. He matters. He's the one who calls the shots. So right then and there, you see Yahushua pull up, and he gave an order. He's like, yo, pick her up and take her ass up out of here. So then I see the angel, or it was like a bodyguard, so he picked her up, put her over his shoulders, and she was like kicking and screaming, like, please, come on, please, just tell me, please, I'm sorry, I want to come back. And I was like, yo, it's not up to me, man. The decision has been made, you gotta go. And then they took her, away. Wherever they sent her, I didn't really see. But then once Yahushua gave that command and she got picked up and taken away, that was that confirmation for me that she ain't coming back. Why? Because she doesn't belong here. You see? Because I remember years ago when we first came to the truth, I was watching the apostles, and she saw the video, and her first comment was, "That's what you want to be like?" And I looked at her like, "What the fuck? Like, do you understand what's going on here?" Like, she's like, "You want to dress like that when you want to get old and be like this, doing this?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is what I was born to do. And if you don't like me, you can leave." And that was it. Like, that was just how I felt at that moment, and I still feel that way. So when I got that confirmation in the dream, when I woke up, I said, "Hey, Lord Tawada, you gave me the confirmation I needed." Literally like a week or two after that, she hit me up. So I said, "Oh, that's the spirit. The Lord was letting me know that she's gonna come back, and you're not taking her back. So this is what I'm gonna show you, so you can make your decision from there." And when she hit me up, she was on some like first question was, "I just want to know why we never got back together." And the answer was, we went our separate ways. I'm peaceful, and I hope you are too. And that's the end of it. Ain't no beef, and that was the end of it. So the Lord shows us little things here and there. But going back to the point of, we're going to be in a position where we're not even going to be the ones to make the decisions on who gets to come around us, right? The people are going to be willing, as it says in Psalms 110 and 3, right? That people shall be willing in the day of thy power. See, so people are going to want to be around us. They're going to want to hear what we have to say, because once the world sees, oh shit, these are the men of the Lord, like it finally hits them and the reality dawns on them, that's when your stock value goes all the way out the roof. Kind of like Bitcoin. A few years ago, Bitcoin, nobody was paying attention to Bitcoin. Now, you got Eric Adams laughing and talking about my first paycheck. I said, give it to me in Bitcoin. Now, who's laughing now? Like, you dumb idiot. You're going to end up taking that CF anyway. It's a setup. You see? But the point is, the value goes all the way up, and then that's when everybody wants a piece of it. When everything is like, oh shit, damn, I didn't know, it went from $1 to $100,000. Let me. It's a limited supply, baby. You can't get none of this. Plus, you can't even afford to get none of this. You got $100,000 right now that you could buy Bitcoin? No? All right, so keep it moving. That's it. So that's how we're going to be very soon. And it's not going to be, like I said, it's not going to be us making the decisions. It's the Heavenly Father. He's protecting his men. He said, I shall make a man more precious than fine gold. You see? If you think we're going to let any old person come around his precious fine gold? Man, come on, stop playing. All right? So, yeah, man, that's the type of time we're going to be on very soon. All right? That fame that the Lord's going to give us, all right, in the land where we're put to shame. All right? This is that land. It's going to come. It's happening now, but it's going to be on a whole nother level very soon, man. When that spiritual power comes in, when the undeniable prophecies come to pass, and people are like, oh, shit, these men were right. These men were right. You're going to have women crying. Isaiah 4:1 is going to come into play. Right? Because they know that their lives depend on being around the man of the Lord. Guess what? The man of the Lord is going to be so scarce in that day. That's what's going to make us so precious. You got ordinary men dying left and right. And you got a man of the Lord who's solid. And he's an actual man of the Lord. Like the Lord is working with this man. You don't think people want to be around that? Everybody's gonna want to be around that. But it's gonna be not enough people, all right, to go around. It's like there's not enough prophets to go around. When they were out there, that's when you were supposed to go find them. Now they're not here. No, now you want to look for them, you can't find them. They've been secluded. You know, like the Lord's gonna hide us like the Ark of the Covenant. He's gonna hide us. Now you can't get to us. It's over. All right, you got it, bro.
I mean, you said it perfectly, right? Because today we're here in abundance. Matter of fact, people complain that they can't get away from us. Like they're like, everywhere I go, they're over there. But very soon in that time, you're gonna be like, how can I find even one of them? You know, like even if just even the dude that was listening across the street, let me find him. But hey, if the Lord says no, then the answer is no. And what adds to the value, like the brother was saying, is that the kingdom is going to be permanent. Like King Solomon had damn near everything the heart could want, but one thing, which was immortality. And he complained about that all throughout his writings. He said, look, I got this, I got that, I got wisdom above wisdom, I got riches above riches, I have 1,000 women, you know, I have all of this, but it's like I have nothing because it's not permanent. Somebody else after me is gonna get it. I'm gonna die and go, and it's like I gotta start again when I get reincarnated. You know, reincarnated. You know, so at the end of the day, that's one ultimate, you know, good thing about the kingdom is what we're getting is permanent. It's for all existence. We're always gonna be like that. You know, like when the Lord blesses you with certain traits, you gotta always be grateful for that, right? Because there's certain things like somebody can compliment you and say, "Yo, you know, you got a cute face, or you have nice hair," you know. But you can cut your hair, right? Something can happen to you. You know, you mess with the wrong person, and they disfigure your face, and now it's gone. But when it comes to the inner traits, you know, like this person is a critical thinker, or this person has a generous heart. These are things that you should be very grateful for because this lies with you from generation to generation. This is something that the Lord created you with, and that means you'll always have this, and that's a benefit. You know, that's an eternal benefit that you can always be grateful for. That hey, the Lord built me, and when He built me, the things that He blessed me with, that's within my spirit, not my body. So that's always going to be with me so long as I exist. But that's the thing. This world values the materialistic, temporary things. Anyway, let's go back to where you at.
Sirach, you got a call for Sirach 19?
Yes, sir.
Sirach 19, I want, if I may, I read 19 and then jump down to where
Yes, you may.
Sirach 19 and 19, the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life.
It's the doctrine of life. Why is that? Because when the Lord tells you to do something, right? Like I think we've gone over this before. When the Lord tells you to do something, it's for your own good. It's for the preservation of life. The Most High is the power of life. He said that He doesn't take joy in the death of His people. So when the Lord tells you do this or don't do that, it's for your own benefit, right? And so knowing of those commandments is the doctrine of life because it teaches you the way to live. And by living in that way, you're going to go on and live longer. You know, you're going to know the do's and the don'ts. Don't put your hand in fire. Don't play with fire. Don't play with flammable. Why do they tell you when you go to buy gas, turn off the ignition when you're pumping in the gas? Oh, I don't like nobody telling me what to do. I'm gonna keep my shit on. What happens when you keep your shit on? You're gonna be on in the spirit world and everybody else around you. So there's a reason why they tell you to do something, is so that you can be protected. When you go into certain areas and they tell you put a mask on, put the safety precautions on. Why? So you don't get infected. So when the Lord tells you the commandments, these commandments the Lord designed strategically. Remember, there's a finite amount of commandments in here, right? If you go back to the law, and each and every one of them has a role and a purpose to play. And today, as a matter of fact, we're blessed. See, this is why the Lord allowed Eve, then Adam, to partake of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Hence, we're here today, because then by doing this, we understand the how. Right? We understand the 5 W's, the who, what, when, where, but most importantly, the how and the why. Why did the Lord give us these commandments? When you break them, you'll find out why. You know? Why did the Lord say that a woman should be in subjection under a man? Put her over you and find out why. And that's what Esau has done. So the Lord used Esau as a means to teach us a valuable lesson. This is, you know, in order to know both sides, well, we're partaking of both sides. You know, we're understanding we're living in a world that is ruled by wickedness. And we see, oh, okay. So now I see why the Most High said, don't give her liberty to get abroad. Look at all the diseases that are going about. Look at all the adultery and the murder and all these things that are happening today. You know what? I'm going to make sure this woman's a lock. You know what I mean? You know, as the Lord says, yo, train up a child in the way he should go. Look at what happens with these little gremlins running around shooting people, you know, running around stabbing people, running around doing all this wickedness over here, jumping people, beating up pregnant women and shit. That's what happens when you don't train them in the right way. Okay, you know what? When I get my child, they're not going to be my friend. They're going to be my child. They're going to fear me. I don't want to be buddy-buddy with you. You need to fear me. And I'm going to raise you up in the right ways. Right? So, like it says, knowing the commandments of the Most High is a doctrine of life. It teaches you how to live the life the Lord created you to live. Go ahead.
And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
Oh, you do the things that are pleasing to the Lord. Because think about it like this, right? If you were a rich man that had a servant, and the servant doesn't do what you want to do, their food tastes like shit, they clean like, you know, here it is, they wash dishes and there's still stains in there. You don't want them in your presence anymore. Get out of here. I was going, well, you know, you tell them, get out of here, right? But if the servant is doing something, yo, that food is banging, you make sure whenever it's time to eat, hey, make sure that person is here. He said he's doing what? He's taking vacation. No, he lives here now. Bring him in here. You know, because they're that good of a servant, you want them continually in your presence. So as we're reading there over there, the Lord is going to give you of that fruit of immortality because he wants you to keep living to do the things that are pleasing to him. Go ahead.
Jumping down to 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom.
The now, oh, ooh, look at that. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. But then, and that makes all the sense in the world, right? Because the scriptures tell you wisdom preserveth your life and so on and so forth. Then you say, well, what about these people who are doing all this wickedness? Well, why are they dying? Because they're not, it's not the true wisdom. You know, it's just knowledge of both the left-hand side. Because I think we've gone into this before, right? Which is like the difference between knowledge and wisdom. And knowledge, as the prefix is know, right? You know things, right? You learn things and then you know them, but wisdom is how you apply them. You know, so there's a multi-step process when you learn things. If you learn something and you never apply it, there's no point in learning it. You know, oh, I know that poison is bad, but I'm gonna drink it. So why did you? It's the same as not knowing poison was bad. I know fire can damage me and kill me, but I'm gonna put my hand in there anyway. So that's the same as me not knowing that fire can kill me. You know, so the wisdom is the proper application of that knowledge and understanding, right? Because when you understand how something works, you know why you should use it the way that it should be used. Right?
Neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence.
There you go. So when it says the prudent man looketh forward to his goings, it ain't talking about these Edomites, because no matter how much wisdom or how much knowledge they have on the left hand side, it ain't enough to save them. They still gonna be locked up in chains at the end of the day. And then you can ask them, so all the shit that you did on the earth, what was that for? You know, you did this, you brought the Klaus Schwab. Matter of fact, go get his ass. Go get that bald. You know, you might put a curse on him to where every generation he comes, he remains bald. And he looks the same. You know, that fat turtle face, the small fingers, big ass head. Them Attack on Titans, yeah? Pencil neck. Niggas never have no, their freaking suit looks like it's always suffocating them. Like nigga looks like he got the bobbleheads. You know, his neck is always like being sucked in a vortex over here. You know, his small ass.
How your head so big and your neck so small?
Yeah, but he's evil as hell, and it's always them ugly small creatures that are evil as hell. Yeah. You know, you like, how has this guy been able to live for so long? Kick his ass in the shins and shit. Go ahead.
Going to 24. He that hath small understanding and feareth the Most High is better than one that hath much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High.
Yeah, because what did the scripture say? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So if you have small understanding, but you fear the Most High, that's the point I was making earlier. In this world, you may not be the smartest person, you may not be a genius, but if you fear the Most High, you're gonna know how to live life, right? You're gonna know, let me not eat pork, let me not commit adultery, let me not do these things, and you're gonna live longer. And then you may do an experiment, a simulation, and you may say, how come this guy right here dropped out of middle school? I don't even know how you do that, but anyway, maybe it happens, right? dropped out of high school, dropped out of middle school, didn't go to college, whatever the case is, he's not looked at as somebody who's like, a top dog, right? He knows X, Y, and Z, but he fears the Lord. And you got this guy over here. He went to freaking Stanford, graduated, top of his class. You know what I'm saying? Prestige, whatever, valedictorian. You know what I'm saying? He's top dog. But then you put them both in the course of life, and this guy ends up dying early versus the guy that fears the Lord. Why? Well, what is death? Death is the penalty of sin. And when you fear the Lord, you know to stay away from sin. And the more you stay away from sin, the longer you live. So this guy, though he doesn't know everything in the world, he knows the things he should know to fear the Lord, because what did King Solomon say? The whole duty of man is to fear the Lord and keep his commandments. So all the extra stuff that this other guy knows is just superfluous. It's just extra. It's just to make his life on earth comfortable. But it might be a short life because he doesn't know how to actually live life. And that's why fearing the Lord is greater than having all the wisdom of this world.
Hey, you got a lot of intelligent idiots in this world.
That's
Man.
the good one, yeah.
You got a lot of intelligent morons, bro. They can do all this. That's what you call being penny smart and dollar stupid. You didn't really focus on the true value of life, serve the Lord, but you got caught up, and that's the Most High set up idiots. He gave them all the information just to make them so stupid, to show that ain't what it's about.
Exactly.
I'm going to take my meek servants and I'm going to give them the highest knowledge, and they're going to be the downtrodden offscouring of the earth. Everybody's going to shit on them, but they're going to be the ones that's going to inherit eternity. And the guys that had all this different shit, like the brother said, all these accolades and different things, that's the Lord showing you that pride is nothing, man. He's going to bring that pride low. Because with all that, you didn't even acknowledge the creator of it all. Right? You didn't even acknowledge that there's a higher power. The most simple, basic thing, you lost it. But you did all this. You know what I'm saying? So you missed the point.
That's what happens when people come into this truth and they skip the foundations. Oh, it's too boring. Oh, it's too basic. Oh, why do I got to? No. I want to go into the deep mysteries. And then they learn that, and then they want to use that for everything else. But why the Lord taught it to them? The Lord gave you this knowledge so you can do the task, which is to feed the sheep. But what do? They use it to feed off of the sheep. Oh, come watch me debate with the knowledge the Lord gave. I know that nothing is gonna come out of this but entertainment, but come do it anyway. I'm gonna tell you this because it sounds good. Let me have, and then they turn the holy days of the Lord into parties. That's all it is. Look, when you have these congregations that have these grandiose parties, come to this holy day. The attire must be all black. What are they coming for? And you got them grand IUIC Passovers. What do you think is going on through the minds of those people coming there come that night? Do you think they're coming there thinking about Yahushai? Not really. Because they don't even call him Yahushai, right? For the most part, some of them say the name. But they're coming there thinking, damn, last year Nate came in on a horse, man. I wonder what he's gonna do today. Y'all seen Bishop yet? Yeah, Bishop. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen him yet, man? Hey, damn, hey, Bishop, this guy, or Deacon, this guy, man, he looking nice, man. Shit. Man, the kingdom gonna be sweet. They're coming in that party spirit. Who's making the lamb this year? That's what's going on into their minds. The Passover is not, the highlight of the Passover is not supposed to be the food. It's not supposed to be coming there and gathering to have a good time. These holy days, when you read it, is to have remembrance of what actually happened over there. And most of the time, they're probably not even thinking about what actually happened on that day. For them, what's the difference then between that and a Christmas party? Or that and Thanksgiving gathering? There's food, okay, there's food. There's people, okay, there's people. There's entertainment, okay, then what's the difference? But if you go back to the actual night of the Passover, sometimes you can be at a gathering and you can eat without really being hungry. And you can imagine that was what was happening over there, because the second the Lord said, one of you is going to betray me this night, that appetite went away. You're like halfway through it. I don't want to eat this joint. Like, what you mean? And then not everybody's heart is dropping, looking around like, wait, who? Somebody's going to betray you, but what you mean? What you know about that? And they're going right around and everybody's nervous. Like, yo, what's going on? And whoever it is, their heart is beating because they're looking around like, man, shit, how he caught on to the plan already? So that's the whole point, man. You got to actually bring to remembrance these holy days. But going back to the point I was making, it's superfluous. They do all these extra things, the flyers, garments, coming in on a horse and all of that. So what does that actually do? How does that glorify Yahushua? It doesn't.
Knowledge puffeth up. As you mentioned, them holy days. I saw a video of Ayathun from IURC, and they had their tabernacles upstate, tabernacle celebration or whatever, and it was just a nonstop turn up. Women dancing. It was like a concert, man. And they were up all night. He recorded the next morning. Yeah, I've been up all night. But the scriptures talk about those that are be riding. We're in a time of being solemn. Being in the time of turn up, turn up.
All right.
You acting like we in the kingdom. But ask some people in that room, what's the MOTB? I bet you they can't tell you the answer. That's an example of you having all this knowledge, but you lost the most basic aspect of it. You decorated a house and you put the nicest side in, and you got the nicest chandeliers and you put all it, but where's the foundation at?
Right.
The foundation is shit. But you put all this extra shit and decorated it up, but then the foundation is weak. So you can't have a house like that. But that's what these other camps do. They were rather decorated, and on the outside, the Lord spoke about the outward appearance. You don't see a foundation. It's in the earth, but it got to be strong.
And when all hell breaks loose and there's a famine, guess what? What? Like, look, man. At the end of the day, when the Lord sees all this, right? We speak on this all the time, but the Lord sees all. I got you, Haran. The Lord sees all this, and guess what? When it comes down to it, this is the reason the Lord doesn't make a big fuss over this. You know why? Because He said, "Send a famine, and these people are gonna die, and these people are not gonna die." End of story. That's it. That's all it takes. And when that happens, it'll do all of the work. It'll do all the punishments. It'll do all of those things. Because you know what's going to happen? It's just going to be you and that hunger. And you're going to be talking to yourself. That hunger is going to be telling you, "Yo, what's up? How you feeling it now?" You're going to be wondering, how do I get out of this situation? And you realize there is no way out. You're going to cry even unto the Lord and nothing is going to happen. And you're going to know very well that you done messed up. You know why? Because the controller of thoughts, you know what He's going to be putting into your mind? He's going to be putting all the folly you did, all the intentions you had. And you know what He's going to show you too? He's going to show you know why you were doing all this? You know what you could have been doing? You could have been doing that. You know what would have happened if you had done that? Right now, you'd have been eating. You know what's happening to my servants right now? Isaiah 65, they're eating right now. What's happening to you? Oh, look at your daughter over there. Them demons are going to have fun with you. You might be hallucinating and having a demon give you a whole sermon about how you could have lived your life much better and you could have been eating. They're playing on SpongeBob clips and shit. Look at them brothers over there. Have you ever had that before? That is heavenly chicken. Them brothers enjoying that shit. What are you doing? And you're going to be there in agony, dying slowly, wondering, damn, where did I go wrong? Then the demon's going to tell you, I'm going to tell you exactly where you went wrong. He says, you and me tonight, baby.
People car with a turkey leg. Chilling. I'll be like, damn.
That's it.
Where's he at? Pigeon clothes.
That's it.
These IYC and them always partying. There's always some worldly shit with these people, and that's because they're really not sent by the Heavenly Father on the right hand side. They were sent by the Heavenly Father on the left hand side to get those that the Heavenly Father doesn't want. All right. There's a book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, and verse starting at 2. It says, "It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart." Right? So typically, when you go to a house of mourning, right, it's a lot of, you're in a somber spirit, right? Normally, when you're in a somber spirit, you're able to think clearly, right? You're not under any influence. You're just more relaxed and more like, not relaxed per se, but more of a low tone. You know what I mean? Compared to if you're in a house of feasting, you're inebriated. You become a little careless. You don't know what the hell is going on. You're in a different space mentally. Okay, and you could be caught off guard if you're in a mindset like that. For example, if you go to a party, right, and typically those who get caught off guard the most are the ones who are drinking and partying and at the loud parts and dancing and doing all that shit, right? Because when danger comes, they don't see it. All right, it's always after the danger happens, they react to it. Compared to those who are actually, probably not drinking, you're probably there with a friend. You're the type of friend that's just like more in the corner. You're in the cut somewhere. You always kind of like, you got your eye on the swivel. Your head is on the swivel. You're always watching things. You could sense before something goes down to be able to type of friend, be like, yo, bro, let's step outside real quick before this shit pop off. So as always, it says it is better to go into the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. And the house of mourning, we will represent the house of mourning. Pertaining to Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, we're the men who are sighing and crying for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. When have you ever seen brothers go to a high holy day and it's just we out here partying and drinking and doing all kinds of dumb shit? Because when we get together, right, speaking for ourselves, when we get together, depending on the holy day, guess what happens? It always becomes spiritual. You're going to see brothers all grouped up somewhere talking some scripture stuff. You know, we debating certain questions, you know, amongst ourselves, you know, going to the scriptures. Oh, but this precept said this. So what do you think about that? You know, always in some form of spiritual conversation, as the scripture says for us to be in. All holy conversation and godliness, right? Compared to these other camps, you go over there, like the brother said, niggas is partying. That's some nigga shit. That's not the mind of a prophet. You know, that's the mind of a profiteer. Somebody who's, oh, yeah, oh, you partying? Oh, we drinking? Oh, we staying up all night? Oh, we got women out here dancing, doing all kinds. You know, what kind of message are you trying to send? And how does the Lord view these kind of actions that these men are partaking in these last days, man? All right. So continue, verse 3 says, sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. Right. So sometimes even when you even, you know, brothers who might have children, when your child goes through some shit and they get punished and they cry, what happens? They have a much clearer vision of what you wanted or you expected them to do. You know, that ass whooping that cleared their mind a little bit. They cry, but they get over it. You know what I mean? When you cry, I remember when we were kids, when you cry, you feel better after you cry because it's like you let something out. You know what I mean? Like you just see it's like something that's so deep inside. I remember when my pops passed, or when our pops passed, you know, you stay strong, you hold it, but not until you let it all go. That's when you start feeling a little better. Like, all right, now you feel relieved. You know, your countenance feels better. Like, you know, now you can talk to people. Your eyes are not as red anymore. You know, your mind is not like all clogged up. It was something that had to go. You know, and that's the spirit that you let out. You know what I mean? That's why it tells you in the book of Genesis, when Cain slew his brother Abel, right? It says that the righteous blood crieth unto the Lord, right? So we in the same spirit, when your spirit is groaning and crying, the Apostle Paul said that what our spirit uttereth words that we can't even speak, you know, because our spirit is more in tune in the spirit world. So there are certain things that we will feel, but you might not vocalize per se, but that might be the case. You know, sometimes you might feel something. You might be like, you know what, today's I'm not feeling it today. You know, you might, oh, you know, I'm not even gonna go out today. You know, I probably don't want me to go out to go party or go to the club or the bar or whatever. You might not, you know, I'm not feeling it today. Next thing you know, that same reason why you're not feeling it, you come up with some shit like, yo, I'm not feeling it. I'm not going out today. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow, whatever. Something happens over there. Shit, hey, that's the reason why I wasn't feeling it. Normally I'm up to go. But this one time when something was about to go down, Spirit had me say, nah, I don't feel like going out today. And then boom, something happened. You know? So we always gotta, you know, always pay attention to those little things that normally don't happen or randomly happen, but you have a strong push. Always gotta pay attention to that because that's the Spirit telling you something. All right. So verse 4 says, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. So clearly we see where these people's minds are at. All right. When you're partying from night to the next morning, you know where your mind is at. All right. It's definitely not on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Right? Because if your mind is on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, even if you're outside, you're in a rush to come home so you can do something for the Lord. You know, like you outside, but you're thinking the next thing is like, as soon as I get home, I got a topic, yo, I got a lesson, I gotta get into. You know, there's always something that has to do with pushing the word and truth and the sincerity to serve the Lord. Okay, to feed his sheep and his lambs. These niggas they're not doing that. Right? They're not thinking like that. And then, to be honest with you, from how I see it, most of the time when they go out there and teach and all that, it's just so they don't get got on. That's it. All right, but in reality, if they could take time off, they would take all the time off until the Lord is coming back. Then you're gonna see all of them pop out. Man, IUIC niggas, hey, you know, nah, bro. You know, mad aggressive, man, very, very militant. It's like, dude, what are you doing? You know? But hey, the true men of the Lord, we always gonna be out here pushing the word, the truth, and the sincerity because it's not of us. It's of the Heavenly Father, like we said, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, about the reason why we're here. You got to always keep in mind, you weren't brought here to do whatever you want. You're here to serve the Lord. It's a mandate. You know, it's a spiritual mandate. You are born to serve the Lord. You know, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, that's our whole duty. But as a prophet, you take it a step further. Okay? The Lord told Jeremiah, Before he was born, he was ordained to be a prophet unto the nations. So when you ordained, Jeremiah tried to back out of it. He's like, Lord, these people are not listening. They're trying to murder me, Lord. I'm not going to speak your word no more. But guess what? It was burning within him. He couldn't contain it. He had to let it out. That fire, he had to let it out. You know what I'm saying? He had to cook. You know what I mean? That's the same thing we got to cook. If we ain't cooking, then we feel cooked. Like, yo, it's like, it's on you. You know, something on your shoulder, something on your head. You know what I'm saying? The whole day, you ain't come up with no topics. You start getting mad. You can't even sleep. You know, if you find a way to fall asleep that night, the next morning you feel mad uncomfortable. Like, nah, today might not be a good day for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just not feel. You don't feel right in the spirit.
Yeah.
You know, until the work is done, then you feel like, oh, all right, cool. Now I know the Lord not going to jack me out. To see, hey, now I know the day's going to be a little better. I'm not going to have no random ass events to remind me, hey, we done the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But man, you got it, bro.
Yeah, you start feeling guilty whenever you do anything else. You know, like you can't do it with a clear mind because you're like, man, I'm trying to go to sleep. I can't even sleep with a clear mind. I'm about to eat, but I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so troublesome on your mind, you know. But that's why, once again, once you build it into your way of living, you know, it becomes part of your life, your routine. Then you know it's easier to do. Like, you know, if you get used to going to the gym every morning, right? Or you're on your way back from here, you know, like, okay, how about on your way to the gym, you do a video in the car or on your way back. So it becomes something you do. It's tied in. Okay, I wake up, on my way there, I do a lesson. Okay, or on my way back, I'll do a lesson. Like, what are you actually doing in your if it's a 15, even if it's a 15-minute drive, what are you actually doing in the car for 15 minutes other than listening to music or being on the phone? You know? And you know very well you can use this time because you can call this person back. Music, you don't gotta listen to that. But you can use this time to do something so that later on in the day, when it starts getting late, and you're like, I still haven't done my lesson yet. You're not, your conscience is not eating at you. But it's a good thing that your conscience eats at you because it shows that you're in the right mindset. You know, you have this reminder to say, hey, there's something important you haven't done. Make sure you get to it. And that's the spirit of the Lord keeping you on point. Hey, they're saying that's the angels, you know, hey, you better do what you gotta do because I'm not trying to get jacked up. So you better make sure you do that shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta do what you gotta do. But it's something that you mentioned, and I thought about a quote. I think the quote goes, it's better to be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. Meaning, I mean, you can not be the brightest, you know, the sharpest tool in the shed, right? You can have a couple screws loose, but if you never open your mouth, nobody really knows, right? They can suspect, like, you know, I don't think this guy's too bright, but he never said anything, so I don't actually know. Until you open your mouth and say the dumbest thing, and everybody knows, oh, I know for sure this guy's not bright at all, you know. So sometimes it's good to keep silent. So with these guys, we would never know that you guys are doing all this wild, crazy shit if you never put it up online. You know, if you gonna do something, at least put some wisdom in there. Think, you know what? You know, knowing these man, I know the elders, man, they gonna get on my ass. Second Apostle Gabar sees this, man. You know, my ass is getting cooked with fire. You know what I'm saying? We cooking with gas tonight, and I'm not trying to do that. So you know what? Let me just not put that on. Let me not commit that to video. You know, but the Lord has you do it. Why? So we can see it. So we can do lessons to show you what you ain't supposed to be doing. You know, there's certain things that in your mind, I would not be caught dead doing this on camera. I wouldn't be caught dead doing this at all because I don't even want the possibility of a camera to catch me doing it. You know, because your conscience will tell you, yo, this is kind of weird. Like, you know, I don't even if it was a regular party in the world, I wouldn't want to be there on the night of the Passover. It would just feel weird, you know, like you know you're in a place where you're not supposed to be. It's like being in sundown towns, you know, after sundown. You know, I know I'm not supposed to be here, man. Because if the slightest thing goes wrong, I'm seeing rednecks walking out here like zombies in Call of Duty with shotguns. You know, and I'm not trying to deal with that tonight. But at the end of the day, I got you. It comes down to what you're given and what you're not. Some people, you just know it. It's like common sense to you. And some people, you can try to explain it to them over and over and over again, and they just won't get it. Go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 16 and 17. And it reads, now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions.
Mark them which cause division. Go ahead.
And offenses contrary to the doctrine.
You know what contrary means? It means against. Offenses against the doctrine. So when people come and they get so concerned, well, why can't we all just come together? Let's put the truth aside and let's deal with brotherhood first. What? Let's put the truth aside and let's prioritize brotherhood. And then after that, we can sort out our differences.
Go hang out with a 2/3 then.
Why would you sit down with a hyena that hasn't eaten in 3 days and tell him, you know what, I'm a human and I'm your prey, but let's put our differences aside and let's sort out our differences first. You know, yeah, let's be. Why can't we be? You gonna find out why you can't be friends. You know, find out the Goldilocks and the 3 bears and see if they're coming for the porridge or they coming for you. Talking about let's put brotherhood first.
That's why the scripture says, "Can two work together except they be agreed?"
There you go.
What's the one thing that makes two work together? It's this truth. You know, that common ground, right? We don't. Most brothers come from different walks of life. Some brothers were born in different countries. You know, some brothers grew up in different states, different cities, all kinds of stuff. Grew up different, like just different, all kinds of different culture, different shit, right? Different languages, right? But the one thing that brings us all into that same space, that is the common space, would be the truth,
Right.
Right? All brothers, I'm telling you, when we get together, it's like we were all born in the same house.
Yep.
You know, the kind of thoughts we have, the kind of conversations we have, the vibe we have, it just clicks. You know, and that's why it's very important not to be around too many people because it will fuck up your frequency. You know, personally, I don't like going out. You know, I'm always a homebody type. If I have to go out, it's because I have a reason. You know, if I don't have a reason, you ain't gonna get me out. You know, it's like, people get mad, like, oh, you just don't like to do anything. I like to do things, just things that I like to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not shit that you want to do, like the fun. You know, so you don't like going shopping. No, I go shopping when I have to because I know what I'm gonna go buy. I go in there, go to the aisle. That's it. That's where the tea bags is over here. I go to aisle 15, cool, get it, and go pay, and I'm out. I'm not going walking around. You check on aisle 14. They have something that I don't need nothing from aisle 14. I'm not going to spend no time up in there.
That's it.
You know. So you don't like going party. You don't like to go sit out and eat. I got food at home, so I don't have to go out and eat. You know, like it's little shit like that. I'm comfortable being at home. You know, but somebody one day you just might get me out there. But I might go out there, but it's not gonna be what you think. It's gonna be short. It's not gonna be as fun as you think because I'm not that type of dude. I'm not gonna we partying, we drinking. Nah, it's gonna be all right. We get food, we got food. We out. What do you mean? But we came all the way here just for I told you that's just the food. That's it. You know. So if you were brothers, we could be out all day. Brothers gonna be out all day. Why? Because it's a different vibe. You know, talking, we chopping it up. You know, it's just a different feeling of a different spirit. We're all on one accord. You know what I mean? The things that we talk about, the kind of worldly encounters that we all experience, we kind of have a similar solution to it. So when we come together and we're talking, it's like, oh, that's the spirit. How many times have brothers hit you? That's the spirit. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. Because it is the spirit. You know, it's the spirit that's keeping us in one accord. Just like the Yahushua said, I and my Father are one. They're one in the spirit. Right? You know, they carry the same spirit. So it's the same thing with us. I could say, hey, I and my brothers are one. Does that mean that we're all the same person? No. But we're all in the same spirit. We're all under one accord.
Yep.
You know, not like the Hudat one accord treaty, but we're all on one accord. You know, in the spirit. You know, and that's what keeps us going. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to mention that how, you know, we're different compared to the people of the world. You know, there's certain things that moves us from within that has nothing to do with the outside world. It doesn't matter what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You might see some shit going on and it doesn't even bother you. It doesn't even shake you. You know? You might be in a house and there might be a fire in the house. Guess what? The way you go respond to it is very, very smooth compared to somebody else who's not in the same spirit as us. You know? Because now you're thinking, oh shit, I'm in the house with a fire. Okay, well, the Lord clearly is the one who put the fire in here, but why? All right, let me step out and think. Okay, shit, all right, well, maybe the Lord doesn't want me to be in this house anymore. Or maybe the Lord doesn't want me to work in this building anymore. You know, or maybe the Lord was trying to show me something. You know, you always think spiritual right away. You know, you might have a flat tire on the side of the road. You're not going to think, oh, fuck, I got a flat tire at the end of the world. Oh, I'm panicking. No. You're going to think, all right, shit, hold on, all right. Let me call AAA real quick. But then while you're doing all that, you're thinking, all right, so what's the reason for this? Why did the Lord, you know, have me catch a flat tire? You're not thinking, oh, how am I going to fix this? No, because you already know he's going to help you out. You know, he's going to take care of it, but there's a reason why he put you in this small little patch right here. Like, shit, all right, hold on, let me pivot. Let me think, you know, did I do something that the Lord got a little pissed off about? Or am I, what is it? What is it? Or maybe he's trying to protect me from some shit maybe down the road. You know, that's how you think. Everything is spiritual. You know, maybe he's trying to get me to go to school for this kid. You know, it's all spiritual. But you got it, bro.
1 Timothy 4:14 again. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery.
You got it
And
wrong.
when you go into the word presbytery, in the Greek is presbyterion, which deals with the body of elders. So there's levels, man. There's Yahweh, there's Yahweh Shai, and then there's the elders, and then there's the brothers. You got to go through these different channels. That's how we receive the truth. The Lord set up men. We didn't even go directly to Yahweh Shai. We had to go to the men that he set up to be taught.
Right.
That's how, that's like the brother was going into earlier. Like, you can't get around everybody. You don't just go to the top guy off the back. You
Yeah, I
got
don't
to
know.
talk to management.
Right,
first.
exactly. Yeah.
No, let me speak to the manager.
Yep.
And then above the manager, you might have a higher manager, and then you got owners, right?
Hey, matter of fact, majority of people, you can ask them, yo, how long you been working here? They're like 10 years, 7 years, 5 years. You ever met the CEO? Nope. Ever seen the CEO? Nope. I just come and do my job. That just goes to prove your point.
15th verse, meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them.
What it means by holy means completely. Give yourself completely to it, your whole mind. But obviously with a balance, right? You're not gonna say, I'm gonna sit at home and not do anything and just read scriptures all day. That's as a matter of fact, that's not even giving yourself wholly to them. Because if you gave yourself wholly to them, you would know that according to the scriptures, you ain't supposed to be doing that. You gotta have a balance. So even having a balance when it comes to the scriptures is a part of following the scriptures. Right?
That thy profiting may appear to all.
And really that's how it's supposed to be. You don't need to go and grab somebody and force them, what I'm saying? No, you gotta get this, you gotta get this. No, you keep doing what you're doing, they'll see it. This guy's living different, and it's not just a phase. Like they're actually doing this, and eventually they'll find out, the way this guy's doing this thing is very organized, it's very orderly. And I find that they don't really have trouble too much. When I have problems, they're able to solve them. Let me find out what you want,
You're gonna have spiritual gravity.
Yeah.
The people are gonna see you have a certain aura about you. Your profiting is apparent to all.
Right.
And that's what it comes in the forms of what? Us edifying, us being diligent for the work. You see us coming out here, the Lord be taking care of us. Our profiting is apparent to all because the Lord put the spirit on us to give ourselves wholly to this truth. Meditate on these things. So like Haran had mentioned, when we at the holy days, oftentimes, and it's not like we have this intention, but oftentimes it ends up being a spiritual conversation.
Yep.
And even if it ain't, we ain't in the spirit of the world.
Right.
We just chilling.
Yep.
I'll be talking about this and that, and then scripture's gonna come up inevitably anyways.
Yeah,
Oh, you hear about this in the news, you heard about that. Oh yeah, did you see what's going on with that? Oh, this one, that politician did this and this and that shady shit, and we be breaking it up, chopping it up. That's our idea of having fun.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? But then here you come, turn up. You looking like a worldly person. You are a worldly person, but you decorated with an Israelite thing to bring in people and bring in money. You see?
We don't like that. It makes you uncomfortable. When somebody comes with that like extra spirit, it's different because when you're around brothers, brothers get hype and all that, but it's an actual different energy that you feel.
Yeah.
Versus somebody that comes with the energy or the hype of the world. It's good, my niggas. It's like, yo, bro, calm down, man. Like, it's just weird. It just disrupts the vibe. And that's because of the different frequencies,
Rap videos and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Turned the truth into like something worldly.
Yeah.
That Apostle Paul said that they like Americanized Israelites.
Yeah.
Guys, I know it's Saturday, but
That's it. We out here.
get warm.
Likewise.
It's an example. For seeing us out, we were like a part of the we're
Yeah.
like a landmark.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got this, you got that. You know where you at because you see some. Oh well, there goes the prophets. There goes the Israelites.
I know it's Saturday because you out
Yeah,
here.
they judging the time based off of us being here.
Yep.
See, so that was a sign right there.
Because we always out here. It'd be weird even if you didn't want to come out here, even if you woke up and it's cold as hell, the consequence of not going out there is worse than however you feel about going out there. So you go out there anyway.
Yep.
And you know what it is? Really, when you come out here and it's cold or you don't feel like it, you just got to do it. Just power through for like 10 minutes,
Sure.
and the spirit will jump on you. And you'll notice that eventually you'll start getting warm. You'll forget about the cold. You know, you'll time passes differently. You know, you start getting into the spirit. It takes time. You got to warm it up. You know?
That's what happened this morning.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I'm about to call the brother. Yeah, I ain't gonna make it. But that was just the flesh. You know, because I didn't get the best sleep last night. But I'm like, you know what? I got enough hours to get my ass up and do this. What am I gonna do? Sit around the crib and watch brothers, and I'm gonna be hurt that I'm not here. I'm like, man, fuck it. I'd rather deal with the pain of going, you know, than be sitting behind. Not to be over, right? Some days you really can't. Might be sick.
Yeah.
You can't. But hey, we powered through to the best of our ability. You know, we really gotta be out for the count to not come here.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Right. Yeah, you gotta impress the Lord, man. You know, you like Job. You gotta give the Lord something to brag about. You know, to the point where he's like, you know what? Toss that code over there. And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna get my ass out over there.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, I mean, I know them demons is like, Lord, you know he ain't coming out that day. Lord's like, watch him. Boom, he's out there. You know, you want, you want to be that individual where when your name comes up in the heavens, we're not perfect. We understand that. But at least it's like, there's like, it's a good feeling when your name comes up. You know, like, yo, what's up with such and such. There's always like a good stigma around your name. You know, and when your name comes up, it's always, oh, he did something super good again. You know, that's how you want to be talked about in the heavens. That's how you want to be recognized in the heavens. Not as, oh, this guy again. This guy's causing trouble again. Lord, when do you want us to take him out? You know, angels are coming back with, oh, brother, he's disrupting this brother. He's doing this. He's doing this. And then, in the spirit, that's really what happens. When we find out, by the time we find out an individual got ousted because they were being a demon or they were extorting brothers or they were doing X, Y, and Z, that's because the angels are sending reports back. In the heavens, they're like, Lord, this guy's he's being a real demon. You know, I know you told me to watch him for this week, but he did this. He's messing up this brother. He's messing up that brother. Then the angels that are watching those brothers are coming up a report too, saying, Lord, this brother's mind is not where it's supposed to be because he's getting messed up by such and such because he thinks he's a brother, but he's really not. Then the Lord is like, eventually he's like, okay, just monitor again. And then another report comes, all right, you know what? You get him up out of there. Then dude does something crazy or something happens, and then word gets around, and now it's like, yo, you out of here. And then we finally find out what's going on. You know, but the Lord sets it all up in the spirit.
And you out. You don't have an opportunity to come out and prove yourself.
Yep.
We look at the code like first. I look at the code like I learned to love the code.
All right.
We first came into two. I'm like, brick. But now I'm like, man, this is where champions are made.
That's it.
This is where gods are made. This code is the furnace where we're striving for immortality. So take it like a badge of honor, man. Be blessed, feel blessed, and be grateful that we even have opportunity to do this. Because like the brother said, many men have been ousted. You know, and it ain't just ousted from the camp. The Lord took the spirit.
Yeah.
You can get kicked out the camp and the Lord still keep the spirit on you,
right,
and you keep going. But if you got kicked out and you lost the spirit, or you could be in the camp and lose the spirit, and then it's a matter of time before you get sifted out. So just pray. Hey, Psalm 51:11. Put that up every day.
Hey, you know what? When you don't want to come out here, just keep in mind, look, I just gotta go out there and wait for the spirit to hit me. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, the spirit is going to hit you when you bring up, because remember, the scripture said where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name. That's why we always open up with saluting the Lord, blessing the Lord. Because when you start going into this book, the spirit will come down because it's like you're calling the spirit down. You know, it will come down wherever it is because the Lord is like, okay, time for the message to go out. So you really just got to endure it till the spirit hits you and then you're going to be good. You know? And then it's funny because when you get back in the car, you're like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't feel my toes. I can't feel my hand.
Yeah.
You got it, bro.
It's like we're in the trance.
Yeah.
So like there's a different spirit that comes with getting something the hard way. You know what I'm saying? When you strive and strive and strive, striving is basically a form of fighting.
Right.
You know, when you're in a race, right, the Apostle Paul uses the race. Normally, the halfway point is where you start feeling like a little gassed. That's when you got to kick into a different gear. You got to shift into a different gear that most of the people around that you're racing, they don't got that kind of gear to shift into. You know, you got the 7th gear. Normally you kick into 5th gear, chilling. You know, you're pushing, but you're in the 5th gear. When you get to that 6th, 7th gear, that's when it's like, oh, I gotta shift now. Let's go. You know, and it's a different and as men, that's just how we are. We're programmed that way to always the hard way. You want to outdo the hard way,
Right.
I'm harder than you.
Right.
There's always something within. You know, like you wake up, it's 18 degrees, and then you start thinking like, shit. I remember at first when we came to the truth, Every Saturday, you be asking, yo, what's the temperature like? And then you watch to see how I'm dressing, so you can also be like, oh, I see you putting 2 socks. Oh, I'm putting 2 socks on too. It's like, because I know he's getting ready for that shit. I'm not going. He doesn't do this the toe stamp because he's ready. So whatever he's wearing, I'm doubling down to. I'm tripling down to. But now I'm at the point where, because when we first came to the truth at a younger age, we dealt with the cold so much. I remember brothers used to get sick. They stayed outside for like 8 hours, like 9 hours, bad cold, like from 12 to 9. We'll be out there from the sun up to the sundown, But now it's to the point where I get up, I don't look at the temperature, because they'll say, oh, it's 24 degrees, but it feels like 17. Well, it ain't 24 degrees to me. It's 17 degrees to me. You see? So I'm not going to look at the temperature. All I know is, oh, it's kind of cold today. I don't know how cold. I just know it's cold.
Right.
So at that point, your mind kind of functions a little different. There's a different defense, not knowing how exactly cold it is. Because if I know it's 18 degrees, I'm like, yo, it's bad cold, because I know it's 18. But if I don't know it's 18, in my mind, it's just cold. It might be 40, it might be 30, but I'm dealing with it. That's the mindset. And then when you're done, like you said, you get in the car or you get home, you feel like you start, your body is like defrosting, so to speak. You feel like, all right, the battle's done, now I can relax. Compared to if you had never gone out, you feel a little some type of way, like, damn, the boss was out there. It's like a little hit to your spiritual ego, so to speak. Like, damn, like, bros was out there, and I'm out here being comfortable and shit. I got nice coffee to my side, got some nice tea, and I'm out here sipping and chilling. My brothers out there putting in work. The Lord sees all that, and it's not to, that's not a hit on brothers who might not be able to go out there, because you gotta use wisdom, But if you can, go out there, and let the Lord see you actually giving your body as a living sacrifice. Remember, we're doing this for salvation, right? We're doing this for salvation, right? It says, be fully persuaded in your mind, right? So if you're fully persuaded that this is where you gotta go, this is the walk you gotta walk to get to the kingdom, ain't nothing stopping you, man. Ain't nothing stopping unless the Lord says, all right, today we're gonna do an indoor camp, or today we're gonna be on a different level, today we're gonna be here. Nah, if you don't get that mandate from the Spirit, keep going, man. Get up. It's just business as usual. It's business as usual. You just gotta battle the elements, and it makes you stronger. It makes you tougher.
Yep.
Shit might go down in January or so, February, whatever. But guess what? We dealt with it. Hey, the Lord, hey, it might be cold, but the Lord's gonna shield us. We're gonna be good. Hey, the Lord might do this, the Lord might do that. But regardless, he knows, this guy can count on for battle. Like kind of like Gideon in the 300. Those men are back here. The Lord said, well, I have reserved unto what? Unto me 7,000 men that would not bow the knee unto the image of Baal. Okay, so those men, they carry a different spirit. It's a spirit of, I'm going. Lord, I'm going. As long as my legs get up and my legs can move, I'm going. Just show me the way and I'll be there. That's it. That's it. Because you know why? Hey, while I'm going, whatever obstacle is going to be in my way, he's going to get it out the way for me, or he's going to give me the strength to get it out the way myself. But either way, this nation that the Lord says to go, I'm going. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how I'm going. I'm going. If I got to swim, I'm swimming. If I got to jump off a cliff, I'm jumping. Whatever, I'm going. That's what this means to us. It's everything to us, man.
Yep.
I just want to add that real quick. You got it, bro.
Yeah, I believe Apostle Tahar said, if you ain't in the Spirit, get in the Spirit. And the Spirit is heat. So if you cold, get in the Spirit. You're going to be warm out here. You're going to be reading scriptures before you know you're going to forget all about the cold.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to want to stay extra time. Camp is over. Damn, I had some more. I'm saving for a lesson.
That's good. Go ahead.
1 Timothy 4:16, take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them. For in doing,
take heed, right? Meaning you have to watch out. Watch yourself, right? Because there may be certain tendencies that the flesh has, and if you're not careful, those can get out of hand. So you got to always watch yourself. Make sure you're balanced. Take heed to the doctrine, right? Understand that you understand the doctrine, and that you are teaching it correctly, and that you're not teaching it incorrectly out of ignorance or out of being deliberate or out of selling out, but that you're teaching it how it's supposed to be taught. Go ahead, and then it says what? Continue in them. And that's really the hardest part. Learning it is one thing, right? Knowing it is another thing. Doing it is another thing. But continuing in it is the hard part. And it's not about motivation. Motivation goes down. Motivation is like a volatile. One day you're motivated, You know, something happens and it's gone. Discipline is what keeps you going. You know, discipline is like the structure, the path. Motivation gets you there, but discipline is what keeps you there because now you're so used to it, it becomes a part of you. You became so comfortable being uncomfortable that the uncomfortability became the comfortability. Go ahead.
Motivation is like a flickering flame, and discipline is a steady flame.
There you go. Yep. And also, you know, when it's cold out or whatever the season is, you got to use wisdom, right? Go and buy some stuff that'll keep you warm.
Right.
You know, don't if you know, man, my toes are cut up. Get some of them socks. You know, get some boots. Invest in these things. When you do that, you may, oh, you know what, Lord, I don't got too much, but I saved up a little bit over the months so that when the winter time comes, I can afford good material so that I can be out there longer, so that I don't, you know, I don't get sick or whatever the case is. The Lord sees that and says, this guy right here, look, I'm gonna give you a regular worldly example, right? You got maybe you're applying for a job, right? And then you know you put stuff on your resume, you know, a job that requires you, like they look at your resume, they say, okay, what has this guy done? You know, is he qualified for the job? You got regular resumes that have, oh, he went to school, he was top of the school, he got good grades and so on. Then you have others that have that, but in addition, you got certain projects that this person worked on outside of school. The employer sees that and says, so this guy, right? This guy went to school, but took time outside of school, thought about this thing, and actually sat down and built projects with their own time, with their own dedication, with their own passion. That shows me that they're passionate about it and that they know what they're doing. So when you sit down and you say, you know what, Lord, I'm going to invest, you know, I'm going to save up, I'm going to buy, you know, these gloves or these boots or whatever, so that I can go out there and do your work even better, that pleases the Lord. The Lord looks at it and says, yo, this guy's thinking about the things that I want sincerely. This guy is sacrificing because he could have used those funds for something else, but he used it to invest so he can be in a better position to do my work. Bless that brother right there. You know, bless him with this, give him that. In return, I'm going to give him this. That's what the Lord did to King Solomon. King Solomon said, Lord, bless me with wisdom so I can fulfill this role you put me in even better. And the Lord said, I'm so happy with that. I'll give you everything else that you didn't ask for. Anyway, go ahead.
For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee.
And them that hear thee. You see? So when you continue in the ways that please the Lord, you're going to save yourself and them that hear you, meaning you're going to follow the path that'll lead on to salvation. You know, you're going to keep on that path, keep going. That was it on that? All right. Jump to, let's get that in Baruch, the 2nd chapter, and you can jump to the point now. I think it's around the 20th or so, 28th verse or so. Because ultimately, going back to the whole point, we're near to our goal. You know, the one main thing that we got on our minds that we want, that we desire, is that salvation. So much so that if the Lord said it costs you your life, wait, we'll do it because it costs you your life. Well, what are you getting? You're getting another one, an even better one. If you try to get a brand new car and they say, well, you're going to need to give us your old car right now, oh, fine, take the old car. You're giving me another one anyway. You know, so that salvation is top of mind. It doesn't matter what, like Aharon said, you know, for us, we don't really care about the easiest path. As long as there is a path, that's all we need. Lord, tell us what you need us to do. You know, it's going to be hard. You know, you're going to have to go through. Okay, what do I need to do? You called me here, right? What do you need me to do? I need you to go from point A to point. That's it. I'm doing it. That's it. You know, if I go and the road is blocked, I'm going to find another way. But as long as I know what I need to do, I'll find a way to do it. That's all that if you have that mindset, then you're good. Nothing is going to stop you there. But if you're like, no, I need some more. I know what I got to do, but the weather got to be perfect. I got to be full. I got to have all the resources. And if I don't, then I'm not trying to do it. You know what happens when you think like that? You don't grow. When you have the mindset that if all I need is what I need to do, I just need to know what I need to do, and I'll figure out the rest. As you face these obstacles, you have to grow to overcome them. You got to say, damn, I didn't know that this was going to be in here. But you know what? I'm here now. So what do I do? How do I still get around and get to the end goal? You find a way around it. Guess what? That thing ain't never going to get you again. Now you know something that others don't. You know, whenever this comes, I know what I got to do, and I'm around it. You know, so say when the actual race comes, you zooming through this thing like it's nothing. Let's get that.
See you watch over the too much blue lock.
That's it.
Verse 20.
Yeah, let me take a look at that. What we got on verse 20. Let's let's go down to I think it's start at 29.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 2, verse 29, and it reads, If you will not hear my voice,
If you what?
if you will not hear my voice,
Mhm.
surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations.
And how many times have you heard this kind of sentiment in the scriptures? Over and over and over again, where the Lord is saying the same thing by the prophets, man. It's that simple. The Lord says, look, just listen, man. He's like, look, if you don't listen, I'm gonna do this to you. If you listen, I'm gonna give you this. That's it. But Israel they just can't get it. Go ahead.
Where I will scatter them.
Meaning if you remain disobedient, the Lord is gonna make you small. He's gonna make you insignificant. He's gonna make you the bottom of wherever you're gonna end up at. Go ahead.
For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people.
Uh-huh.
But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
Which is happening now, right? We're in the land of our captivity, meaning a land where we're captives, right? We're not on top, we're not ruling, we don't have power, but we're remembering ourselves. We're remembering who we are as a nation. We're remembering what our custom, and it's all in the book. Go ahead.
And shall know that I am the Lord, their power.
Yeah, so now we know that the name of our God is Yahweh, right? Bahasham Yahweh Shai. We know what the Lord requires of us, so we're right back on track. Go ahead.
For I will give them an heart and ears to hear.
What it means is that the Lord is going to open up our spiritual minds. The heart there means your mind, but we already have minds. So when he says, I will give them an heart and ears to hear, he means he's going to open up our spiritual hearts, our spiritual minds, and our spiritual ears to understand the spirituality of the scriptures, because they've been dormant for so long, right? They came of falling away, but now the Lord is raising us back up. He's waking us back up. Go ahead.
And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity.
And we're doing that now. We're praising the Lord in the land of our captivity. Why? Because he woke us up. And now we're close to salvation. Go ahead.
And think upon my name.
And that's what we're doing, right? We're thinking upon the name of the Lord. And when you think upon the name of the Lord, you get motivated to do the will of the Lord. Go ahead.
And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds.
That's where you have brothers and sisters coming from all walks of life. Things you used to do before the Lord woke you up to this truth, you left those things behind, right? At least you should have. You stopped doing those things, because now you're moving on to bigger and better things, bigger and better ways. The righteous path, which is once again in the book. Go ahead.
For they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord.
How are we remembering the way of our fathers? By the book of remembrance. That's why the Lord had these records written. So we're remembering, this is why we ended up here, because go back to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. What was the condition that the Lord gave us? And though we don't remember literally as ourselves, that's why the Lord had it written over here. So we're reading that, our forefathers didn't follow the ways of the Heavenly Father. Because of that, the Lord put them in captivity, hence we're in captivity today. Go ahead.
And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers.
And when did that happen? Going back to the book of Genesis, the Lord promised that land of Israel, the land of Canaan, to us from Abraham's son, right? The Lord told Abraham that this would be for his seed, and it was promised to Abraham, it was promised to Isaac, it was promised to Jacob, and landed on the 12 tribes. Okay, so it says the Lord said He's going to take us back there. Go on.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Go on.
And they shall be lords of it.
Meaning that the Lord is going to take us back to our land, and we're gonna rule over that land. Go ahead.
And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished.
Diminished. So right now we're being decreased, right? Everywhere you go, you got Israelites being put to death. They're dying of, diseases. They're dying of terrible diets. They're dying of living wicked lifestyles. They're dying of, even in different countries, of just lack of resources. All the famines, you got famines going on in like Africa and these different countries. You got Israelites over there that are dying of those things. Okay, And the Lord is diminishing us at this point because of the curses. But when the Lord blesses us and delivers us and takes us back there, we're no longer going to be diminished. As a matter of fact, we're going to be immortal. Pursuant to 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, and right around the 50th verse on down. Go on.
And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God, and they shall be my people.
Right, a covenant that's going to last forever. It's similar to what we had in the wilderness, save this one, we're actually going to be able to keep it. And it's never going to need to be broken or redone. It's going to be perfect. Go ahead.
And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them.
Yeah. So once the Lord takes us back, he's no longer going to kick us out. No other nation is going to rise up and, the Gog and Magog, they're going to come up after 1,000 years and try to fight again. That's not going to happen. All right. We're going to be established over there. Go ahead. Does it on that? Yeah, run that last part back again. We'll close off on that.
Verse 35. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them.
And that's what we're waiting for. That is a part of that salvation. But the details of that go into that those new bodies. The Lord says we're gonna have so much that even while we're praying for it, He's gonna answer our prayers. He said we're gonna have so much that we're not gonna have places to store the things that the Lord is gonna give us, the showers of blessings He's gonna give us. So ultimately, that's what drives us, man. We know the Lord is not gonna lie. We know He's gonna honor His promise, and we want the promise. End of story. Brothers, got anything else before we close it out? Perfect. So anyway, with that, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect and pleasing to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. In closing, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Ba'ashem. Until next time, Shalom.
To the elect, Yahweh Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.